Welcome to eBritish Ielts. So today we are going to learn how to write a very effective introduction in your writing task 1 of the writing module of your Ielts exam. Now, writing an effective introduction means basically how to paraphrase a question. So while writing an introduction for the writing task 1, we usually do something called paraphrasing. Now this video is specifically for the academic students, as the first writing task in academic and the general training papers are different. In the general training part of it, the first question is usually some sort of a letter, and in the academic part of it, the first task is always some kind of a data interpretation question. So you are given data on a particular topic, you're given some kind of a bar graph or a line graph, a table, a map, an illustration or a flow chart, and you have to describe whatever points or whatever material or facts and figures are given in the question. So the difference between the writing task 1 and the writing task 2 in the academic paper is that in the writing task 1 we do not make any assumptions. We do not supply any reasons of our own as to why something is following an upward trend or a downward trend. We do not supply or give any relevant examples to support our answer. We just stick to whatever is given in the question. We only mention those facts and figures that are given to us in the question. So basically there are 3 parts of writing the writing task 1. The first is the introduction, the second is the overview, and the third is the main body paragraph. And in this video we are specifically going to talk about the first part, that is the introduction. So now your introduction should be as clear as possible. By being clear, I mean that even if the examiner does not have any question paper in front of them, they should be able to understand what is the topic that you're given, what is the question that you're writing about. So your introduction should be as clear as possible. This also ensures that you make a great first impression on the examiner. So while checking the paper, the examiner only needs to read about 2 to 3 initial lines of your write-up, and they are able to kind of form a view how you are going to write further on. So make sure that you write your introduction very effectively to make a very nice first impression. So how do we write the introduction? Now we do something called paraphrasing. Paraphrasing means writing the given question in your own words while using some appropriate synonyms or vocabulary. But make sure writing the question in your own words does not mean that you alter the meaning of the question. The meaning of the question should be as it is. It should not change at all, because then the whole point of your writing will be irrelevant. So you have to paraphrase in such a way while using appropriate vocabulary, appropriate synonyms or antonyms, and while making sure that the whole meaning of the question is not changed. So here it's pretty simple to paraphrase your writing task 1 as compared to your writing task 2. There are about 2-3 ways in which you can paraphrase your introduction in the writing task 2. But in the task 1 we usually stick to a simpler form where we use some appropriate synonyms to rewrite the question without altering its meaning. So we learn from an example over here. So maybe you're given a question which says, the bar chart shows the number of women who completed undergraduate degrees in Australia between 1990 to 1991. So here by paraphrasing, we do not mean that we have to change each and every word. That just won't make sense. We keep the functional grammar of the functional verbs as it is in the question. We only use synonyms to a certain words wherever they are possible. So here we have changed some words, but we have not changed the positioning of those words. For example, we'll see the bar chart shows. Now we cannot change the bar chart. Obviously it's a bar chart, we have to call it a bar chart. We cannot call it a pie chart or a line graph. So this will remain as it is. What we can do is we can add the word given, because obviously it's given to you in the question. So when you're answering about it, when you're writing the answer to it, then you can add the word given. So it becomes the given bar chart. Instead of the word shows, we've used the synonym demonstrate or illustrate. So you can use either of these in place of shows. The quantity of females. Here instead of numbers I've used the word quantity, and instead of the word women I've used females because they are synonyms. It can be used in place of each other. Who completed, who is going to remain the same, obviously it's grammar, it's a pronoun. And completed, instead of the word completed I can use the word finished or achieved or gained. Now if you see, achieved and gained are not direct synonyms of completed, but in this context they can be used as synonyms. So either you can use the word finished, achieved or gained instead of completed, because obviously gaining a degree is a kind of an achievement. You always gain something out of it. It's an educational achievement. So that's why we can use the word achieved or gained instead in place of completed. Undergraduate degrees. Now obviously if the degree is undergraduate it is called bachelor's. If the degree is postgraduate it is called master's. So instead of undergraduate I've used the term bachelor's. Bachelor's degree in Australia. Australia is not going to change because obviously it's a particular country that they're talking about. So we are going to keep Australia as it is. Between 1990 to 1991. So in place of between I have used the phrase during the period. During the period starting from the year 1990 or to the year 1991 for a period of 1 year. So in this way I've just interchanged the words with synonyms, with appropriate synonyms, but I haven't really repositioned the words anywhere. The positioning is still the same. In place of shows, demonstrate and illustrates can be used, but the position is the same. So this is how you can very easily and very effectively paraphrase the introduction of your writing task 1, and subsequently you can move on to your second and third part, which is the overview and the main body paragraph. So in the overview you write the highlighting features of the question, the maximum quantity, the minimum quantity, the highest point, the lowest point, and basically an overall general analysis of the question that is given to you. And in the main body paragraph you write everything in detail. So you quote actual facts and figures in detail over there. So this is how you can paraphrase a question and write a very effective introduction to gain higher band scores. Thank you.